Around the perimeter of most homes constructed of brick, you're going to find these little holes in the brick. Those are called weeping vents, and they allow the wall cavity behind the brick to breathe and drain and dry if moisture builds up behind the brick layer. So mice and bats, you'll find, will often use these to enter a house, so we need to screen them to keep mice and bats out. So the process for that is relatively simple. You'll need a narrow, long tool such as a utility knife, your tin snips, and you'll need to cut yourself a strip of screen about 1 inch or 1 1/4 inches and bend it into a wedge shape like this. The width, you might need to make adjustments to the width if the wheat vents are exceptionally large, but just have a look at the size of the wheat vents and cut yourself a strip accordingly. So the first thing I'm going to do to screen these is make sure that mice aren't already getting in them, obviously. So I'm going to go around with a light and check them, and if there's any indication that mice are using them as an entry, then we need to put a one-way door on them to get the mice out before we can screen them. If mice aren't already using it, and we just need to screen it as a matter of prevention, take your strip of screen like this and just hold it up to the wheat vent and cut yourself a piece of screen slightly shorter than the wheat vent, but no more than 1/4 inch shorter. And just using your utility knife, just tuck it in just like that. Make sure you don't have a gap at the bottom or the top. So I need to get my face right down and look upward. Sometimes there'll be kind of a gap behind this first layer of mortar that you're seeing. So there might be a gap above the screen, and sometimes that's just a matter of putting an extra piece of screen at the top to close that off. Submerge the screen just a little bit so that it's not going to catch pant leg or any other clothing or anything, as if somebody's walking by here, you don't want that to ever get pulled out. So that's screening wheat vents. Relatively simple process. The challenge with screening wheat vents is getting them all, making sure that you don't miss any. So a lot of times they're going to be in a pattern that you can follow. So in this case, they're every 2 bricks. Sometimes they might be every 3 bricks, but that isn't always the case. Sometimes they're completely random. So avoid getting tunnel vision and just going along and doing the ones that you can see. A lot of times there's going to be a downspout in front of it, or bushes. You have to get behind all that and actually screen every single wheat vent, even the ones that are hidden behind things like that. If mice can get to it, we have to screen it. So a lot of times they run under decks, so that means actually getting under the deck and getting all of the ones under there. And a lot of times there are over windows, so they could be 2 or 3 stories up as well. Or if you have a low roof that comes out, they're going to be above that low roof on the upper wall as well. So step back, get the bigger picture of the house, and like I said, avoid getting tunnel vision, and even take 2 or 3 walks around the house after you're done and make sure that you've hit every single one.